Today, we're going to talk about changing our perspectives and shifting our thinking to help us raise our awareness of possibilities that we may not have considered. Hello, my dear friends, and welcome. My guest today is Dee DiFatta, and she is a Positivi-Dee Expert, empowerment coach, inspirational speaker, and author working with the MS community to inspire people to live healthier and happier lives. Welcome, Dee.
Hi, how are you, Vickie? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm great. I'm so glad that we could get together. It is so nice to have people on as guests that I've interacted with in the MS community. MS has brought so many wonderful people into my life. So I would love to get a little introduction of you for our viewers. So tell me a little bit about your MS story, how it started, you were diagnosed, and how it felt for you.
So my MS journey started a little bit before my 22nd birthday. I was working in retail at the time, and my left foot felt numb and swollen for some reason. So I took my shoe off and I looked at my foot and it looked fine. I don't know what's going on. My mom said that she recognized that I was incredibly fatigued, but I was working in retail. I was working really, really hard on my feet. I was just tired. So I took a hot bath one day to relieve the stress. And that's when the feeling went all the way up my left leg and into my left torso. I'm like, problem. So my mom had been a nurse and she immediately called the doctor and, started the process rolling. Now, the day before my 22nd birthday, I got the news, you have MS.
Oh.
And that wasn't fun. It actually totally sucked.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was truly grateful because it wasn't an inoperable brain tumor that they thought it could have been. So I'm like, okay, I'll just keep living. It was crazy. It was a crazy time for me.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of our viewers can completely relate. We have that onset of symptoms. We're not sure what's going on. We go to the doctors and it could be X, Y, and Z, including a tumor. And then we get the news, we get the diagnosis, and it's a mixture of, oh, thank God it's not a tumor, and oh goodness, it's multiple sclerosis. Now what? Over the years, you've had a shift in perspective from focusing on the MS and the negative aspects of it to an attitude of gratitude and possibilities. Can you share a little bit about that shift in perspective?
Yeah, the shift in perspective has changed my life. And honestly, I remember in 2014, I was like 20 years in with MS. And my daughter was graduating high school and going to college. I'm like, what is going on? And I realized that, okay, it's about me now. No more going through the motions, no more struggling through whatever in order to make the ends meet. Now it's my time to focus on me. And I realized at that time that I really wasn't doing all that great. I hadn't even started utilizing a walker yet, but I was tripping over my feet, holding on to walls. It was bad. Trying to get from one point to the next point was just horrific for me. And I said, there's got to be something else. There has to be. I don't know. I need to focus on something else. And my husband was away at the time. So I was taking care of my daughter, my dog, my cat. And I dropped her off one night at dance class. And I drove myself to Barnes & Noble and I sat there and wrote. And I was so inspired by all the books around me. And this was in 2014. And I go, anybody can write a book. I'm like, why not me? I'm like, why not share my journey of being blessed with MS? I'm like, wait, I'm blessed with MS? Where did that even come from? It was like an insight that came in. And it's like, no, really, even though you're tripping over your own 2 feet and you're walking, with your hands on the walls, you've had a very blessed life.
Nice.
And what I realized is MS slowed me down enough so that I could be myself.
Nice.
I could be me. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even remember who I am.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. We get so caught up in doing our lives, and taking care of our families and the pets and the husbands and the daughters. And, we get to a point where we're like, wait, I wonder what it's like to be me. So
Yeah.
you were inspired to write a book, and you actually published a book in 2021 called Your Daily Dose of Positivity. And
Yes.
it's a wonderful book of 365 inspirational quotes to help people expand their thinking and raise their awareness of the different possibilities. And I'll put a link in the description below for those of you who would like to check it out. So tell everybody about your book and a little bit more about how it came to be.
So it's funny. In 2014, I started writing. And in 2018, I really got into writing. Like I couldn't stop. I was just every day writing, 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 writing. I knew that this book was supposed to be birth, but I didn't know what it was supposed to be. Like Blessed with MS kind of went by the wayside. And I'm like, maybe not yet. So it was like, all right, well, what's it supposed to be? So I started, a website, and I was blogging, and then the blogs turned into videos. And then I was still writing, writing, writing in my journal every day. And I'm like, what am I doing here? So I started going through some old stuff and highlighting what really jumped out at me. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a book of quotes. Yeah. And that's how it all came together. It was completely by accident how that came together. Yeah.
Wow, it is a wonderful book. I've been through it a couple of times, and I'll just show people that there is a quote for every day of the year in here, and it's a nice way to either start or end your day. So one of the pillars on how that I live well with chronic illness is through kindness and mindfulness.
Mhm.
And part of this for me is working on my spiritual side. And you've done a lot of spiritual healing on your journey. Can you share how this has helped you and help you as you head into your third decade with MS?
It's funny because with MS, they say that it affects your cognitive, your mind and your body, but it doesn't affect your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ooh, that's where I'm going to start. So yeah, it's been fun to just be curious and explore and see how I can feel better. And I was the person who grew up with religion. It was bad. It was just bad. It was like, this is how it is. This is the devil. This is this. And, people talking down to you and having power over you. And I'm like, enough. And it took a long time for me to reconnect to who I call God, but, it could be universe, source, spirit, whatever you want to call them. And honestly, I couldn't even use the word God for a long time. So I was saying universe, and that's okay. Like whatever it is for you is fine. But honestly, when I finally said, I can't do this anymore, I freaking surrendered. Not give up. I didn't give up, but I surrendered because I was trying to control everything. I was pushing, pulling, powering through. It wasn't working for me. It was getting worse instead of better. So when I finally said, fine, I surrender. Tell me what you want from me. Oh my gosh, it's like everything just opened. Like there was this huge moment. And I started getting all these divine downloads. I'm like, whoa, slow down. I didn't ask you to come like gangbusters here. I'm like, can we take baby steps, please? And it was like, I'm so happy you're back. Where have you been? I have so much for you. Let's do this together. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm definitely being divinely guided to share perspective and positivity with the MS community.
Excellent. And your work, you started a second book, and it's more of a journal, and it's part of your class on how to achieve inner peace and positivity. And it's about shifting our thinking so we can live out our best lives despite our challenges. So tell me a little bit about how this is helping people with MS.
This is helping people with their perspective, okay? Their perspective about acknowledgement, about appreciation, about love, about positivity, about perspective. It's like, what do you consider to be this, So let's take love, for example, okay? Everybody thinks about love as outside of ourselves. We're looking for love, looking for love, looking for love. You are love. You are love. You were born love. Same thing with worthiness. Always trying to prove, always trying to earn. You were born worthy. It is within you. So it's one of those major mind shifts where people look at it and they go, oh, I never thought about it that way. And then there's some questions that you can journal about or just ponder, to get you more curious and empowered about how, you can change and just see things from a different perspective.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love the shift in perspective. Sometimes we look at our MS from a certain perspective, or any chronic illness from a certain perspective. And if we can step back and shift our perspective, it can really have a profound effect on our lives. Talk to me a little bit about how people are responding to your course and how it's going.
It's funny. I never expected in a million years that people would be like, tell me more, tell me more. So I literally just put it out yesterday that this course was coming. I literally just put it out today that it's available. And I've already had all kinds of people respond, go, oh my God, I want to know more. Tell me when it starts. Tell me more about it. Like, yes, this is good.
Oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're taught so many things about how to beat ourselves up, how to feel guilty, how to, focus on what's going wrong in our illness. And oh my gosh, our world is so out of balance. And so are we, because we're so fixated on the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
So to have a class where you can actually teach people how to find it within themselves, this inner peace and positivity that are like, seriously, I have a choice? I'm like, yes, you have a choice. So, and I love being the guide. I love just illuminating that path so that instead of them hitting the pitfalls in the things that I, had to find my way through the hard way, I want to give them an easy way to get through it.
Oh, that's so wonderful. The name of my YouTube channel is Even So, It Is Well. And having that shift in perspective, no matter what, it's going to be okay. Even so, I've got this disease. Even so, there is some nerve damage. I can still live well with it. Dee, it has just been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do you have any final thoughts for our viewers?
So something I always, always, always say is that we may not get to choose the challenges that we're faced with, but we have 100% authority over how we choose to deal with them.
That's wonderful. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Vickie. It's been wonderful being here. Thank you so much.
Friends, thank you for joining us today. I will put links below so you can find Dee and find more information about her. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up, the like icon under the video, and hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Until next time, be well.